secretary for, in short, that is related to the institute. Once again, I welcome you on behalf of this institute. So all the best for the participants and delegates. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful introduction. It is a moment of immense pride for us to host an alumnus who has carved an impressive trajectory in the pharmaceutical industry. Today, we have with us Mr. Ghanasham Chaudhary, who is currently working as a subject matter expert in pharmacovigilance at Cognizant Mumbai. Mr. Chaudhary is a seasoned professional with over 10 years of rich and diverse experience in the pharmacovigilance domain. He has contributed significantly to major organizations in this sector, including TCS, Equia, and Bioclinica. Mr. Chaudhary's journey from our college halls to a senior leadership role is a testament to dedication and the vast potential within the field of pharmacovigilance. He will be shedding light on the critical role of drug safety and numerous career pathways available to you in this specialized area. We are eager to learn from his vast experience. Without further ado, I now invite our esteemed speaker, Mr. Ghanasham Chaudhary, to take over the session and enlighten us on career opportunities in pharmacovigilance and skill development. Sir, the session is all yours.
Thank you, Dr. Prasanna, for such a great, nice introduction. First, I will take this moment to express my gratitude towards our beloved principal, Dr. Surana, Dr. Swani sir, Principal Dr. Shirketkar sir, our beloved head of the Department of Pharmacology, Dr. Sia Pati, for organizing this session and giving me this opportunity to express my learnings, my education skills, as well as my experience with all the participants. So first of all, I really express the sense of my gratitude to you and the institution. So without any time, let's move to the session part. Let me know I'm sharing my screen. Please let me know if my screen is visible. Dr. Prasanna, could you please confirm if my screen is visible to all?
Yeah, it's not visible till now. Yeah, now it's visible. Please start, sir.
Okay, so thanks for giving me this opportunity, and let's get started with the today's point of discussion, that is career opportunities in the field of pharmacovigilance and skills for success. So the presentation agenda will include the topics to, first of all, the introduction to the pharmacovigilance, history and evolution of PV, how PV operations rules on daily basis, key PV stakeholders included in the routine monitoring of the pharmacovigilance, what are the responsibilities of different stakeholders, regulatory landscape in the pharmacovigilance, what are the essential qualification and core skills required to be success in this field, technical skill and competencies which can be mastered to progress in a role, career path, what are the PV associate roles, how to acquire the skills, core responsibilities of a PV associates, legal, social, and financial scope of pharmacovigilance globally and in India, PV opportunities in India and the organizations offering opportunities, summary, conclusion, and the references. I hope that as we have taken this topic for a guide or introduction to students from first to the last year, so I have designed the presentation in a very simple environment so that every one of us have the basic understanding of pharmacovigilance. So pharmacovigilance is the science and activities related to decision, detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effect or any other drug-related problem. So again, in layman language, if I want to put this definition, so please try to understand anything happening because of the drug. It is the science which deals with the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of that problem. Now, the core aim of the pharmacovigilance, the core aim behind the pharmacovigilance is to enhance the patient care and to ensure the patient safety in relation to the use of medicines and to support public health programs. The scope of pharmacovigilance includes monitoring of the drug safety throughout the entire product life cycle from preclinical trials to post-marketing surveillance. And when I mentions the monitoring of drug, the scope has recently been widened or expanded to include herbal medications, traditional medicines, complementary medicine systems, blood products, biologicals, medical devices, and vaccines. So, to understand the importance of basics in pharmacovigilance, so there are some standard definitions which needs to be understand, and we after its understanding we can surely assure that what is the expected side or what are the expected outcome of for pharmacovigilance. So first of all, we should know adverse event. So any medical untoward occurrence in a patient administered a medicinal product and which does not necessarily have a causal relationship with this treatment. So in simple language, if anything which is occurring unexpectedly after having or administering a medication is considered as adverse events. And I would like to emphasize on the word here is that it is an untoward medical occurrence. We may not have a causal relationship between drug and the event occurred after its administration. The second point include adverse drug reaction, which is in response to a drug which is noxious and unintended and which occurs at dose normally used in the man for prophylaxis, diagnosis, therapy of a disease, and modification of any biological or physiological function. And to distinguish it from the adverse events, the causal link or relationship is always involved. So whenever you have any confusion related to distinguish adverse events from adverse reaction, we should emphasize on the causal relationship. Whenever there is a causal relationship involved, that needs to be documented as adverse drug reactions. Now, the third is seriousness of that adverse events or serious adverse events. So now, if we have an information of adverse events or adverse drug reactions reported by any patient, healthcare professionals, through other sources like clinical trials, so it is very important to categorize that information on its seriousness in order to prioritize it or expedite it for the regulatory submission and the analysis of reported information. So any adverse events or adverse drug reaction that results in a death or its outcome is life threatening or it requires hospitalization or it results in prolongation of existing hospitalizations, it or it results in significant disability of a person or incapacity, or it induces any congenital anomaly or birth defects, or needs any medically intervention to prevent or to cure that adverse events is categorized as serious adverse event. So in a common language, if a severe AE or ADR requiring immediate regulatory attention due to its severity or outcomes, it will be categorized as serious adverse event or serious adverse drug reaction. Next would be the safety signal. The logic behind the safety signal is now anything which is reported as an adverse drug event or adverse drug reaction in an information format that arises from one or multiple sources, for example, ICSR studies or clinical studies that suggest a new potential causal association or a new aspect of already known association of an information or event or drug pair between intervention, that is your drug treatment, or an event or a set of related events that need to be judged to be sufficient as a likelihood to justify further investigation. So any information of drug and event which has a potential causal association in terms of the results can be categorized as a safety signal. So a potential new safety concern that warrants further investigation can be assessed as a safety signal. Now, all this information needs to be determined for the exact relationship between the drug and the event caused by that drug. The process of determining the likelihood or a probability that a drug caused and observed adverse events is called as causality assessment. So it is a core part of pharmacovigilance. Whenever we came across any information, the primary step is to determine the causality assessment. And in simple language, evaluating if the drug is likely cause the patient's reaction or the patient's problem is known as causality assessment. The risk and benefit profile. Now we are having all the information reported in terms of adverse events, adverse reaction. We have the seriousness of the event. We can predict the potential causal association. Now the part comes next to all this is the risk benefit profile assessment. So the assessment of favorable effect, that is known as benefits of the drug or a medicinal product in relation to its unfavorable effects, which are called as the risk, used as to determine if the drug's benefit outweighs its risk for a particular indication or a population. In a simple language, continuously weighing the therapeutic advantages of the drug against its potential harm of use. So when we analyze this and studies this kind of assessment, or we do the assessment for the risk and benefit balance, it is simply called as risk balance benefit profile of that particular drug. Okay, so now what are the history involved to emerge pharmacovigilance as a regulatory and mandatory in the practice? So there are two key triggers which are documented in the history. One included 1937 sulfanilamide tragedy in USA, United States of America, which included an mixture of solvent called diethylene glycol. As we all know, nowadays we are also hearing the same culprit in the news, that the same diethylene glycol is causing number of deaths in India when it is used and in a cough syrup formulation. The same drug, though it was documented in early history to cause hundreds of deaths or fatalities, it was the first trigger to know. And in 1930, as an outcome, the US FDA enforces the laws to measure or to monitor all the marketed formulations and drug formulation to include certain culprits or certain chemicals or agents which can be harmful to a human use. And also the second major trigger was in 1961 of thalidomide tragedy. As we all know, the number of participants in pregnant women who received the drug led the formation of phocomelia into the new offsprings, where there are in continue or abnormal development of the body's parts of the babies. So again, it led to a stringent drug regulation and birth of new modern baby. So these two tragic incidences plays a crucial role whenever we discuss about a pharmacovigilance through historical perspective. Now, what are the milestones? So as
आमने डिप्लोमा रेडी है फक्त my स्कॉलरशिप चाहिए थोड़ा सा इशू है यार काम कर ले आम्ही
Prasanna, could you please let me know if you're having any doubts or questions? Hello, I'm audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir. Please continue.
Thank you. So after these incidences, that triggers that the need of monitoring of such instances is important in future. So in 1968, WHO, that is World Health Organization Program for International Drug Monitoring, was established in Uppsala Monitoring Center of Sweden. And in 1990s, the International Council for Harmonization, which is a tripartite monitoring committee including experts from United States of America, European Union, and Japan, just go on the table talks and design guidelines which can implement it throughout the world, and it ensures that the patient safety can be part of the drug development process. So I'm not going in much detail of these topics as I'm considering that and this is a part of our academic syllabus also. But whenever you are going to face an interview or any new opportunity, so the emphasis will be given to the questions like why there is a necessity is felt whenever there is an like it will be asked that why there is a necessity to make this pharmacovigilance effective. So the PV operations. So PV operations, the process currently is distributed in the four main categories, which we call CDAP in as an acronym. So C from core process includes collection, that is gathering of safety information, uh, either from individual case safety reports, aggregate reports, or other sources like media, literature. Second, D detects like a detection, like the process of identifying of potential safety signals or new risk or any changes in the known risk. The third step will be assessment. Now we have gathered we have gathered information, we have identified some potential signals, and now we are evaluating the signals based on the benefit and risk balance of the medicinal products. It is covered under the part of assessment. Fourth and last part included prevention, that is taking regulatory actions to communicate these findings to the in all the stakeholders throughout the world through the label changes in the pharmaceutical formulations, restrictions on the marketing authorization, as well as suspension of the distribution of drug, and ultimately the drug withdrawal if it outweighs its benefits than their risk, and communicating risks as a preventive measure. So now, ICSR processing, aggregate reports, signal detection, and risk management are the four fundamental complementary processes in pharmacovigilance. These are mandatory, and the process of pharmacovigilance will always include these steps. So, first, we will consider individual case safety reports. I will mention it as an ICSR, which also known as a case processing, which are the detailed standardized reports of suspected adverse events or adverse reaction that occurs in a single patient. So whenever you hear this term individual case safety reports, the first uh, the first term that we should consider that entire report is about a single patient. Now, what is the purpose of these ICSRs? The purpose of ICSR's processing or the case processing is to capture the details of signals, safety events, and ensure prompt reporting of serious, new, or unexpected risk. And as I mentioned, the key steps included. I have tried to include all the steps which are included under case processing or an ICSR reporting. So first key step included again a collection, that is receiving the adverse event report from various sources, and the sources can be from patients, healthcare professional, clinical trials, literature sources, as well as other studies like observation studies or media reports. Second is the triaging and validation. So now, as we have collected the reports, now the next step comes is the triage and validation. So here, the assessor or the MH, that is marketing authorization holder, has a team to triage and validate these reports, where they check if the case or the reported information is valid. That is, the validity of case means it should require a four criteria of validity, that is identifiable patient, identifiable reporter, a suspect drug, and adverse events. Now, after checking all these requirements and fulfilled, the validation has been completed. That information can be reported and processed further. The third step in the case processing includes data entry and coding, where all this reported information is entered in the case data of a safety database, and this code with a drug and adverse reaction information using the standardized medical terminologies from MEDRA, which is a medical dictionary for regulatory activities, and WHO drug dictionary for the medications and concomitant drugs used. After entering this data into the safety database like Argus and RSG, which can be differ to company or marketing authorization holders, the next part includes the medical assessment of the reported information. And these very crucial step where all this information is being reviewed, performing its causality assessment to determine the relationship between the drug and event, and to determine the expectness and seriousness of the event. And the last part, the expediting of reporting, that means prioritization of the information reported to submit it to the regulatory authority. So submitting serious and unexpected cases to regulatory authorities within a strict or short timelines, that is 7 days for fatal and life-threatening adverse events or 15 days for other serious events. And these timelines may differ as per the local country of incident. That means a local country of incident means where the adverse event has occurred, and also the applicable regulatory authority to which the case information has been submitted. So there are different timelines for United States Food Drug Administration, European Union, and Japan. So again, there are some differences in the timelines when we consider different countries like India, Australia, United Kingdom, etc. So I hope we are on the same page of the understanding, and please do let me know if you have any doubts, as the case processing is a very crucial part of pharmacovigilance. So shall we move this? Okay, so the next part included is in aggregate reporting, which is whenever the term aggregate reporting is mentioned, it's simply the collection of the data on periodic basis through a systematic collection process, includes analysis, submission of the cumulative safety data for a medical product over the defined time period. So here the time period has already been defined, and during that time frame, the marketing authorization holder, that is a sponsor or any pharmaceutical company, owes responsibility to collect the data through systemic sources, analyze that data, and submit the cumulative safety information to the regulatory authorities. And it is assessed as overall benefit risk profiling of the drug, identifying new safety concerns or signals from the drug, and uh, propose a necessary risk minimization if the information is leading for a major risk problems or product labeling changes. So here in this visual, I can show that there are some categorization of these aggregate reports into the 2 or 3 main categories. First included pre-marketing developmental, where marketing authorization holds the responsibility to communicate and notify all the safety outcomes of a clinical trial which they have sponsored or conducting through developmental safety update reports, through annual review of the drugs in clinical trials, and which mainly focuses on the subject safety, that is participant of this clinical trials, the new risk arising from that clinical trials, and trial changes if the trial is not followed with certain changes in the protocol. Next, life cycle includes the post-marketing authorized aggregate reports, which mainly comprises of PABRER, that is periodic benefit risk evaluation reports, PSUR, that is periodic safety update reports, which both includes benefit risk and evaluation. And these aggregate reports are also approved. These are to be submitted for an approved products, which again focuses on the global safety profile of the drug. As it is post-marketed, the marketing authorization holder is responsible to collect all the information which is available on global level. And again, there are some distinguished like PADER. Now, PADER, which is Periodic Adverse Drug Evaluation Report, is US specific one and being now replaced by PABRER. So again, as I mentioned earlier, PABRER and PSR are the two major post-marketing aggregate reports. And there are some requirements sometimes observed from regulatory organizations as an ad hoc basis, which are also termed as ad hoc reports. So these are non-routine one as previous reports, though these reports can be event driven, triggered by any regulatory authority request or new safety signals, or any inspection outcomes, and has any urgent safety issues, and it mainly focuses on specific concerns like rapid analysis. So there are some requirements in latest period when there are COVID and there are no specific drugs are available in the market. So in order to study such kind of scenarios, the regulatory authority may require an ad hoc request of these aggregate reports. Now, a typical cycle of the drug safety or pharmacovigilance, it mainly include starting from drug development and clinical trials from phase 1 to phase 3, and the primary objectives to collect safety data uh, from ICSR as well as from developmental safety update reports on annual basis with informed consent. So second will be in individual case safety reports, which again included data entry, coding through MEDRA and drug dictionaries, causality assessment, seriousness experiment check, and timely submissions of these reports to the regulatory authority within 15 days of the timelines. So all these are interlinked and mainly focuses on the quality control management and all the guidelines comes under the good pharmacovigilance practices, CFR, that is Central Regulation Rules of United States America, and ensures that everything is conducted with the proper guideline and the documentation. The next part after the submission of reports comes under signal detection, which is also a continuous monitoring, which includes the statistical analysis, qualitative analysis of the events, quantitative analysis, as well as the identify new risk or trends from these reports. And after the risk is identified, the every information is followed for the risk mitigation and risk management plans as it evaluates the risk through the risk mitigation strategies, and which includes the update in the product labels like summary of product characteristics, regulatory inspections, monitoring of those risks from the area which they have identified, and public health communication by restructuring the pre-existing laws and regulations. So this is the regulatory landscape from Food Drug Administration of India, European Medical Agency, International Council for Harmonization, and national health authorities. Now, when we are talking about the process of pharmacovigilance, so there should be some stakeholders who play a crucial roles to conducting a continuous monitoring of the drug safety. So there are 5 stakeholders which are basically involved in the process of pharmacovigilance. First is the patient and consumer of any drug or medicine product. Second are the healthcare. The patients usually reports adverse events as their experiences with the drug and provide feedback to their healthcare professionals. Healthcare professional can identify and report these adverse drug reaction to the pharmaceutical companies, or they can suggest change in the drug or management of those risks through changing the course of medication as well as educating the patients about the expected events after the drug administration. The pharmaceutical companies, they receives reports or any information from the patient as well as healthcare professional, holds a primary responsibility for a global safety surveillance of those drug, case processing, ICSR processing, reporting through the aggregate reports, signal detection, regulatory risk management, and label data and labeling updates. The fourth part comes the academia and research institutions which conducts clinical trials or observational studies and publishes safety data regarding the drugs. They also tend to respond to the pharmaceutical companies' request for any particular field of therapeutic clinical trials or any observation studies or any study which are conducted to know the reasons or cause for any particular disease. And the last stakeholder is regulatory authorities, may include Food Drug Administration, European Union, ICH, national health authorities, and their responsibilities are to set guidelines and law for patient safety, review the reports which is published and submitted from the pharmaceutical companies, check the market authorization holders, to conduct an inspection required, and to ensure the public protection and enforce the actions. So these are some regulatory authorities. I've structured it in a simple chat or table to understand, like the jurisdiction part, the regulatory agency involved, PV programs and guidelines the organization offers, and key roles. So on a global level, WHO and organizations like International Conference on Harmonizations, through their guidelines in good clinical practices, ICH E2 series of guidelines for efficacy, and SIOMs, they set an international standard and maintains the harmonization through the processes. At United States level, Food Drug Administration of US regulates all this pharmacovigilance process through Code of Federal Regulations Title 21, which is popularly known as CFR. And the key role of United States is to regulate the drug safety in the United States market. The next region will be European Union, which includes European Medicine Agency, which has in guidelines for good pharmacovigilance practices, which regulates the drug safety in the EU market and the European Economic Area. And while India is concerned, the Central Drug Standard Control Organization, that is CDCSO, pharmacovigilance programs, runs a pharmacovigilance program of India and has a national coordinating body for adverse drug reaction monitoring in India, which includes Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission at IPC Ghaziabad. So now we know what are the process of pharmacovigilance, and now we want to pursue a career in the pharmacovigilance. So now what are the basic requirements of education and qualification? So I have categorized the essential qualification, soft skills, and technical skills and competencies information. So the primary background needs a student to have a graduation and a pharmacy, medicines and life sciences, which can include courses like Bachelor of Pharmacy, Master of Pharmacy, Doctor of Pharmacy, Bachelor of Medicines and Surgery, Doctor of Medicines, Master of Medicines, Life Sciences courses like Bachelor of Dental Sciences, Masters in Science in field of biotechnology and nursing. But again, it depends on the scope of work included, and some pharmaceutical company also prefers bachelor's degrees from other life sciences courses. If you have a postgraduate in your profile, then it will also serve as an advantage. And there are some specialized postgraduate diplomas in pharmacovigilance or clinical research are highly beneficial or advantageous. So the basic requirements is the graduation in the medicine field related to the medicine and pharmacies and life sciences, and a post graduation holds your profile. The required soft skills or must-haves included attention to details, as we are reporting and processing information which is very critical and accurate through a case processing and data integrity. So a person should have attention to details whenever he has any information to proceed. Written and verbal communication is essential for comprising the clear safety narratives and regulatory reports. So as all PV is about documentation, so person should have abilities and capabilities to communicate effectively, so that there will be a clear and concise communication for events, writing the documents like aggregate reports and regulatory reports. Next skills include critical thinking and analytical skills, which helps to assess causality and identify safety signals. So I'm just correlating the basic skills and what are its implication or impact on the day-to-day operations on PV. Fourth will be organization and time management. So as the pharmacovigilance is the field of quality, timelines, and communication, so organization and time management will help you to meet strict regulatory timelines while reporting information to the regulatory authorities. And ethical awareness, as we all know, the pharmacovigilance upholds the patient safety and confidentiality. So we should have that ethical awareness among us, and we should prioritize to to maintain a confidentiality about patient's information. So technical skills may include the understandings and knowing the databases, like working knowledge of PV databases, which is Oracle's Argus Safety and Aris Global. And again, there are a number of database available, and it depends which database to be choose by a marketing authorization holder or a pharmaceutical company. The next technical aspect can include a medical coding. So proficiency in standard medical terminology dictionaries like MEDRA, that is Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities, for coding adverse events and indications, patients' medical history, and other diagnoses, we can code it through MEDRA. WHO Drug Dictionary, which helps to code the concomitant medication which are administered along with the suspect drug or the drug which have caused adverse drug reactions or adverse reactions. The third point to know by a student is regulatory knowledge. So there should be a deep understanding of global and local PV regulations, that is good pharmacovigilance practices, ICS guidelines, pharmacovigilance program of India guidelines, and other guidelines for country level PV operations. So again, all this information is available in the public domain by the different regulatory authorities, and at least as an academian, it is expected that you should aware of the basic guidelines of ICH, good pharmacovigilance practices, and local country levels guidelines. And last topic of technical would be a data analysis. So we should have an ability to handle and interpret a large data set or complex information for aggregate reports, signal detection, and risk management. So not only to these aggregate reports and signal detection, sometimes we tend to receive patient's medical history, which is presented at a complex level, as patient may have different historic events which needs to be categorized, and we have to prioritize the information based on the occurrences or the severity or specificity of the information to the regulatory authorities. So these are some technical skills which are at least students should aware of before entering into the field of pharmacovigilance. And now the career path. So I have categorized the ladder in terms of the years of experiences. So any graduate or individual who wants to pursue career in pharmacovigilance will start his journey as a drug safety associate, or some organization may prefer them as an intern or trainee in the field of pharmacovigilance, and their role is aligned to the collection of data to identify data or to extract the data from the vast data sets or reports which have been assigned for review, and they will report the intake of that information, as I discussed in the triage part or the document review part. They will organize the data in the safety database for a triaging, and after the experience of 1 to 4 years, the level of the experience and the designation is considered as a senior drug safety associate or a PV scientist. So when you reach as the experience of 4 and 4 plus years, you may have opportunity to work as PV scientist, where you are involved in the risk assessment and signal validation part, or processing of uh, end-to-end ICSR processing or case processing operations. And after laddering to plus 2 years of experience, like a total experience of 6 to 8 years, you may have the opportunity to lead a team of individuals who are involved in these PV operations of case processing, aggregate reporting, risk minimization, or signal detection. And after gaining the experience of team lead or mature time phase of 4 plus years, you may be acting as PV managers, where you are leading to the teams and you are delivering project management tasks, or you are managing resources directly or indirectly. And after 5 plus years of PV manager, you may get promoted to the local head of pharmacovigilance lead for a local country or as a local region. So here your designation will be categorized as a quality person for pharmacovigilance or head of pharmacovigilance for that particular local area or country. Now, the topic is how to acquire skills. Now, we understood what are the expected qualification is needed. We know the daily operation which is processed on a daily basis. Now, the main thing comes under how to become qualified person to get an opportunity in the field of pharmacovigilance. So, first of all, we should know where this data or information regarding the laws, rules, and guidelines is available. So, here are the organizations which can help you to understand the basic requirements from each agencies or regulatory authority in that particular area. And by checking these links, you can browse those guidelines and rules. So I have categorized this based on the regulatory authority inclusion. So first is World Health Organization and Upasala Monitoring Center. Second would be European Medicine Agency, United States Food Drug and Administration, uh, Pharmaceutical and Medical Devices Agency of Japan, and India's Central Drug Standard Control Organization. So you can go through this link and you can check your guidelines, you can assess those, you can take notes from them, and you can simply mention those in your interview if you are uh, getting recruited to a particular region for a few operations. So the next part includes formal trainings. So once you enroll in a special, there are some programs maintained by institutions like RC Piper. They allows graduate to have a post-graduation diploma or certification program for the field of pharmacovigilance. They also provide some training, traineeship or internship to gain the practical experience in the pharma companies or contract research organizations. Technical training that get familiar with PV softwares like Argus, Arith Global, and coding standards. So I would request if anyone is having determined, like anyone is determining to enter in this field, must have a primary information which is available through the website of Oracle Argus and Aris Global. So they will provide you what they are offering towards database entries or training towards these tools and continuous learning. So again, it is our responsibility to check whether we are able to track all these regulatory updates in global and in Indian PV guidelines if we are seeking career in the India PVPI program. So now the core responsibilities. Now, if we suppose you gain the all proficiency in your training and your qualificational skill. Now, if you become a pharmacovigilance or drug safety associate, there are some core responsibilities which needs to be fulfilled by yourself. So first will be training and management. So again, there will be as the PV is a continuous learning, so regulatory sponsor and company conventions and policies and data management guidelines will be provided, and you have to be compliant with those through your continuous training. ICSR processing, the training and core responsibilities include triage, data entry, coding of medical events and adverse drug reactions, quality review of ICSRs from various sources, make follow-ups to these ICSR processing and aggregate reports to generate and sending follow-ups for any query pertaining to your case reports or any incomplete information of the reports uh, regarding these four valid criteria of ICSRs, and after follow-up to complete the case information. Now, as we consider documentation part, so the core responsibility of maintain an accurate and complete case file reports, aggregate reports, labeling of products, and other regulatory documents in drug life cycle. So through documentation, we will be assigned some maintenance task or to archive some reports based on the labeling of products, the new immersion of any new event or safety concerns. You will be trained, and it will be a core responsibility to maintain the documentation. Next part is reconciliation. So now if you have completed your collection, detection, documentation, triaging, validating, it is very important that to validate the information and matching the safety data with data from other departments. So now, as the reporting procedure or reporting to regulatory health authority includes a number of other departments also. So in reconciliation, you will cross-check the information for its soundness or completeness and conciseness, so that there will be no findings from the regulatory authorities. and compliance, that you will ensure the reporting timelines which are set for a particular regulatory authority submission based on the local area or local countries. And last part is safety database management, that is through your ICSR processing, regulatory submission, audits and inspection. The different tools needs to be managed on the same level of the data sets or the information. So you are maintaining the databases in alignment with the regulatory databases as well as your core safety database for which you are entering the data. Now, you ask me, that, okay, we have graduated now. We have some skills in us. We have trained on the certain perspective of pharmacovigilance. Then what are the scope? So this is a doubt at student level. We always face when I'm pursuing any degree or graduation or post graduation certificate. What are the scope available after my uh, securing the degree or the graduation? So I have put this slide to show that and to ensure you that what are the general global legal and social perspective in 2024 and what are the projections after 2024. So if we consider the legal scope of the pharmacovigilance, as a pharmacovigilance is a mandatory compliance set by regulatory authorities, which we have discussed. It is obligations of an MH to share this information in timely manners to the regulatory authorities. So this is a legal scope. Now, social scope, as we are healthcare providers, it is our prime duty to ensure the patient safety and public trust, transparency, and confidentiality. So this is a social responsibility again, where we promote the health awareness, informed decisions, ethical imperatives, and responsible drug use. So we educate society regarding the drug and their consequences. Now, financial scope. If you pursue in degree or you are thinking to gain some expertise in the field of pharmacovigilance, now the market size of a total global organization involved in the pharmacovigilance in 2024 were uh, 15 to 23 billion United States, and the projections are making that the industry will go through a 10 times of the projected budget in uh, maybe 2020 by 2030. So these are some projected scores. And again, regulators are seeking some outsourcing of the pharmacovigilance domain to the service providers. So again, as the field is expanding and the opportunities are offered to the qualifying or the expertise, so there are a big trend of outsourcing of the services. Again, compliance cost and outsourcing are playing crucial role. And if we consider to the India's perspective, Drug and Cosmetic Act under Schedule Y and the National Program of Pharmacovigilance run by CDSCO. It is the Pharmacovigilance Officer of India is mandatory officer who focuses to ensure the ADRO reporting and monitoring throughout the India. The social scope, again, same for global and India, as we are the healthcare promoters. So public health focus, as in India, we are having large population and diverse population. So it offers us to go into the much deeper sides of the social domain, take healthcare professional initiatives. We should invite common population and we should spread the awareness regarding the PUPI. Again, it upholds the patient empowerment and reporting culture. So once we become aware or we receive our education, we can return in the society by spreading the awareness regarding this drug and their rational uses. Again, financial scope. So market size as of 2024 is about $200 million, which is projected to become $340 million in 2030. And the key trends are also includes compliance, cost, and outsourcing. As we know that on daily basis, uh, the stability in our society through the infrastructure and investment and advancement in technologies offered by government policies and as well as the uh, industries. So These projections allow us to think positively to gain a career in field of pharmacovigilance. So now PV opportunities in India as well as the different organizations who can help you to gain the internship trainings or certifications as well as job opportunities. So I've categorized these informations based on the organization and the opportunities. So when it comes under regulatory, CDSCO and IPC, that is Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission through PVPI, offers you programs includes internships and contract projects. Involvement of pharmaceutical and biotech companies like Sun Pharma, Dr. Reddy's, Cipla, Alcon, Roche, Pfizer, Macleods, as they are primary manufacturers of the products or the drugs, they have responsibility and the Department of Pharmacovigilance set up to take care of all legal and regulatory formalities. Contract research organizations, which are called as CROs, like IQVIA, Syneos, Paraxel, Covance, Fortrea, plays major outsourcing hubs for these pharmaceutical companies. IT industries, KPO and BPOs, which includes Tata Consultancy Services, Cognizant, Accenture, Genpact, Wipro, also offers same outsourcing work as the CROs, and also involves a large level of recruitments in the field of pharmacovigilance. Some specialized consultancies and PV firms, which includes Apsos Life Sciences, Pharmalex, Macrocare, and Clean India, have the same rules and responsibilities, and now expanding in the field of pharmacovigilance, offering different roles, starting from document reviewer to the QPPV or local QPPV in the field of pharmacovigilance throughout the India. So at the summary part, pharmacovigilance is a critical growing field focused ensuring the drug safety and protecting public health. It offers a diverse role existing through its organization from drug safety associate to the pharmacovigilance scientist or director of an organization. Strong academic backgrounds in pharmacy, medicines, and life sciences are the foundation for entry. Key technical skills include mastery of the safety databases, knowledge of medical coding, and regulatory knowledge. As we know that success is driven by soft skills, a thorough meticulous attention to detail, strong analytical ability, and clear communications are the way of success. Career growth is robust across the pharmaceutical companies, CROs, and other regulatory bodies, as well as major Indian hubs. And here we at our conclusion. So we have covered through this power talk is how the what are the foundational science pharmacovigilance holds, what are the regulatory landscape in pharmacovigilance, how we can gain mastery in the fields of pharmacovigilance, and we know that pharmacovigilance is more than just a data entry; it is an ethical safeguarding of the modern medicine, and it is rapidly expanding and integrates new technologies through artificial intelligence, machine learnings. Professionals are now being equipped with both deep regulatory intelligence and keen analytical skills. And I think these tools, by mastering them and committing the regulatory compliance consistently, may offer you the path of success. So I hope I have included some references for your review also, so that you can check them and have your basic understanding. And I hope that now we have concluded our talk. I think that's all from my end. I hope I have tried to include all the foundation training as well as set of information about domain of field of pharmacovigilance. So as I've concluded, the call is open for questions and answers.
Okay, sir, some students have come up with questions. So one of the question is which industry can we go for better exposure for pharmacovigilance?
So for
Any
better
specific
exposure,
industries that can be recommended?
so I would recommend core companies who are included or who involves drug development procedures from basic, starting from the molecule till the its advancements through the marketed formulation. So I would recommend you to have industries like core pharmacy or pharmaceutical companies. But if you are seeking advanced career through the interaction with the stakeholders on global levels, so I would really recommend to go through the CROs.
There is one more question. How to join pharmacovigilance after graduation in pharmacy? The queries are like, many companies require, experienced people, and it is difficult for someone to enter as a fresher. So what will you recommend on this?
Okay, to answer that question, as we know that all industries apart from chemical, pharmaceutical, or mechanical are going through a continuous advancements in their technological field as well as their deliveries. So we know that it is a constant challenge whenever we are pursuing any graduation. So if we try to gain expertise from certification programs or other post-graduation courses which are offered by RC Piper also. So we will be matching the level which our expert having in the industry right now. But again, there will always some internship programs offered by the CDCSCO, as I mentioned. So they will take care the advancement of the knowledge set also through their syllabus or public communications. And by mastering them, we surely ensure that we will be having required knowledge to commence our journey in the field of pharmacovigilance.
Okay. There is one more question. Is there any role of medical coding related to pharmacovigilance?
Yes, so medical coding is one of the crucial step of field of in maintaining the pharmacovigilance data. So whenever we receive data, as I mentioned through my slides, as it is expected that the different reporter may have different information which is not standardized to process on global level. So medical coding takes care of that field. It standardize those data through the using the information through the codes which are have a different classification based on the organ and system class of the bodies or diseases. So by standardizing those information through codes, medical coding ensures that the information is capable to proceed on the global level. So yes, definitely it is a good set to have a knowledge whenever we are seeking careers in field of pharmacovigilance.
Okay, and there is one more question. To explore the career opportunities in pharmacovigilance, what should the final year BPharm students do? This is the question from final year person.
Yes, a very good question to answer. I would recommend first you should know what are the local regulation guidelines for your country. Second, what are the guidelines which is followed by the all manufacturers or marketing authorization holders throughout the country, and what are the regulatory implications for organizations which are working as outsourcing hubs for these pharmaceutical companies. So as all the information available is on regulatory authority websites through their guidelines, training programs. So while pursuing degree, it is recommended to go through these websites as they tend to keep update their content on weekly, monthly, or annual basis. So by confirming these updates, by gaining knowledge of these updates, we surely have data knowledge as well as the information about the modern rules or guidelines.
And what are the average salary packages one should expect after BPharm, MPharm, and Pharm B? Any numbers can you recommend or tell as per your experience?
Sure. So whenever you are seeking opportunities for intern or traineeship, so organizations like CROs or major pharmaceutical companies, they tend to offer starting salaries from 2.4 lakhs to 3.5 lakhs per annum. And once you complete at least 2 years of experience, based on your role, your experience, your competencies which you have achieved through their programs, they will promote you till 4.8 to 5 lakhs per annum.
Okay. Is there anything like data analyst associated with pharmacovigilance? There is one more query.
Yes, so whenever you become matured person or experienced person through your experience and expertise in the field of pharmacovigilance, you may have exposure to the large data sets as a part of a company where you are managing multiple stakeholders for different projects related in pharmacovigilance. So the skills gained in the data analytics, like your Excel, your SQL, your different analytical tool like Tableau will help you to gain expertise as well as to match uh, the level of knowledge with other persons who have only expertise in data analysis. So it will help you that in manner like you are having knowledge of pharmaceutical company through the drug development procedure as well as the data analysis expertise. So uh, by any way you are profound member to look, and as it is prolific for companies also, so they will surely prioritize your set, as a nominee.
And any examination is there related to pharmacovigilance? There is a query about this.
No, if you want to enter in the core companies, CROs, IT, and BPOs, so they may have their schedule increment, your recruiting path. So where you have to face normal interview questions, your technical analysis of pharmacy and pharmacovigilance background, and your analytical skills, and how you are good at your ethical skill as well as the communication part. And when you consult any intensive programs through government officials, so they may conduct a test or based on the uh, person who are nominated for the process, then they may be, have a separate examination. But as of now, there are no prerequisite training exams need to be passed to have a career in the field of pharmacovigilance.
Any questions from teachers? Any other questions? No questions? Okay.
Prasanna, have we stopped recording? I'm not sure.
Good evening, everyone. Respected dignitaries and dear participants, I, Dr. S.K. Yadav, present a vote of thanks on behalf of RC Patel Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. First and foremost, I, on behalf of RC Piper and Organizing Committee, extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sripur Education Society for their visions of improving community health and enlightening the society through the quality education. Thank you, SES Society, for setting the tones of this event. I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Mr. Ghanshyam Chaudhary, sir, our esteemed alumnus, for delivering the insights and inspiring session on career opportunity in pharmacovigilance and skills for success. Your valuable guidance, real world experience, and practical advice have greatly enriched our understanding for the health and motivate our students to share the excellence and their professional journey. We truly appreciate the time and efforts you dedicated to sharing your expertise with us. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our respected Principal Professor Dr. S.A. Surana sir for his presence and continuous guidance. Thank you, sir, for sharing your wisdom and for your support to organize this event. I would like to thank our beloved Vice Principal Professor Dr. Atul sir for gracing this event with his presence. I would also express my gratitude to our driving force of the department, respected Professor Dr. C.R. Patel sir and S.D. Patel madam for the consultation, motivations, and guidance for the organization of Alumni Power Talk series since 2 decades. And a special thanks to my department colleagues, Dr. Hemakshi Chaudhary and Mrs. Harshada Patil for their efforts and assistance in the organization for this event. I would also like to thanks to my colleagues from the Department of Pharmacology and Pharmacy Practice for being the parts of this event. And I must appreciate our students, coordinators, Prajakta, and persons for their technical assistance right from the inception and of the event. Last but not at least, how I can forget, I acknowledge the passionate and cautious participants to our dearest students. Thank you for your overwhelming response to our alumni life, our talk series. Now I request all the participants to please like and subscribe our official YouTube channels RCP Pharmacology and visit our websites for the updates of our department. Please stay tuned with our WhatsApp group where we will be sharing the feedbacks link for e-certificate and keep you updated about the events. And signings off now. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Bharat.
Dr. Yadav,
Yes, sir.
sorry, I just saw a picture of Dr. Sarah Patil sir and SD Patil madam, and it gives me immense pleasure, and I feel always motivated as I was a very proud student of this organization, and I can't miss this opportunity to express my feelings to this organization and my guides and all my teachers. So thank you for making this capability and offering me this capability through educating me, guiding me, and I hope that we also continue this in future. So thanks everyone. Thanks sir. Thanks ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Ghanshyam, for sparing your time.
All pleasure is mine, sir. Thank you.
A maximum certificate. Thank you so much, Ghanshyam Chaudhary sir, for your support and coordination.
Yeah, Ghanshyam, at present, we are just providing you with this virtual
Updates of our
certificate.
department.
Very soon, we'll be inviting.
Please stay tuned with our WhatsApp group where we will be sharing the feedbacks link
Thank you.
for e-certificate and keep you updated about the events. And signings off now. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Bharat.
Dr. Yadav,
Yes, sir. हो गया क्या? हो गया ये
and I can't miss this opportunity to express my feelings to this organization and my guides and all my teachers. So thank you for making this capability and offering me this capability through educating me, guiding me, and I hope that we also continue this in future. So thanks everyone. Thanks sir.
उधर ले रहे हैं
Your time.
All pleasure is mine, sir. Thank you.
A maximum certificate. YouTube का क्यों आ रहा है? Thank you so much, Ghanshyam Chaudhary sir, for your support and coordination.
Yeah, Ghanshyam, at present, we are just providing you with this virtual
Updates of our
certificate.
department.
Very soon, we'll be inviting.
Please stay tuned with our WhatsApp group where we will be sharing the feedbacks link
Thank you.
for e-certificate and keep you updated about the events. And signings off now. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra, Jai Bharat.
Dr. Yadav,
Yes, sir. हो गया क्या? हो गया ये
and I can't miss this opportunity to express my feelings to this organization and my guides and all my teachers. So thank you for making that we also continue this in future. Thanks everyone. Thanks sir.
I request you, all participants and respected teachers, to please turn on your camera. We are going to capture one
Turn on
photograph.
your camera for a few seconds so that we can take a screenshot.
Camera, we are going to capture one photograph. I request all participants, please turn on your videos. We are going to capture one photograph. Chetan, Shruti, Manali, Deepali, Nikita, Varsha, Amrapali ma'am, Nikita, Deepali, Manali, Shruti, Chetan, Varsha, Om, Shakti Patel sir, Dheeraj sir. स्क्रीनशॉट लिया क्या? ऑटोमेटिक सेव नहीं हो सकता। एक Camera, we are going to capture one photograph. I request all participants, please turn on your videos. We are going to capture one photograph. Chetan, Shruti, Manali, Deepali, Nikita.
Yes, thank you for your participation and spending time for it. Herewith, I'm concluding the session. You can log out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.